This movie has shown how an ordinary person, through the abuse and neglect of society and the people around them, gradually becomes a criminal. And from there, the real Joker within him is born. This movie has brought before us some hard truths of our society, truths that will force us to think, in one way or another. Today's entire story is Arthur Flex. Arthur lives in Gotham City with his mother, Penny Fleck, and now, day by day, the condition of the city is getting worse. Much worse than before. Here, the amount of crime is increasing every day, and in a way, the rich people of this place control this entire city, which is why the rich here are getting richer every day, and for the poor and middle-class people surviving normally is becoming difficult. At the beginning of the movie, it is seen that Arthur is sitting in a room, applying Joker makeup. Actually, he used to work for an entertainment company where Arthur and many other people like him were made to dress up as clowns and do various jobs. Now, it is seen that after doing his makeup, Arthur is standing on the street, promoting a company, when suddenly, several kids snatch the company's poster from his hand and run away from there. Arthur starts chasing after those kids to get the poster back. Now, it is seen that those kids ran into an alley, and when Arthur follows them and reaches there, one of those kids suddenly hits Arthur in the face with the poster and runs away, causing him to immediately fall to the ground there, and the poster breaks. Then, those kids start beating him up for no reason and say, "You're a clown. You don't have the power to do anything." And after beating him for quite some time, they leave him on the street and go away. Then, it is seen that he is getting treatment from a psychiatrist. Actually, Arthur was suffering from a mental illness, which is why he used to get treatment regularly. There, the doctor says to him, "I told you to bring a journal or a daily log. Have you brought it?" Then Arthur shows a diary and says, "I want to be a comedian. I want to make people laugh through my words, and whenever any joke comes to my mind during the day, I write it down in the diary. You can see this diary if you want." And it is seen that it was written in the diary, "I hope my death will be more valuable than my life," which made it very clear that Arthur was suffering from extreme despair. Then he says to that psychiatrist, "Can you please increase the dosage of my medicine? Just a bit?" Then that doctor says, "You are already being given 7 different types of medicine, and now giving you more medicine than this would not be right." Now, it is seen that after getting checked up, Arthur is returning home on a bus. Then, on that bus, he tries to make a little boy sitting in front of him laugh using his gestures, and after seeing this, that boy's mother tells him, "Don't talk to my son." And upon hearing this, Arthur starts laughing loudly there, which looked very strange. Seeing this, that woman says, "Did I say something that made you laugh like this?" Then he takes out a small card from his pocket and gives it to her, on which it was written, "I am not laughing on purpose. This is a disease of mine. Since I got a head injury in childhood, I have been suffering from this disease. Please forgive me for this strange laugh. I cannot control my laugh even if I want to." And after that, he continues to laugh alone on the bus for quite some time, and after spending such a bad day, he returns to his home. But before entering the house, he checks his postbox to see if any letter has come for him or his mother, but that box is empty every time. After entering the house, his mother asks him, "Has any letter come for me from Thomas Wayne today?" Actually, Thomas Wayne was the richest man in this city and was going to become the mayor of this city in a few days. Then Arthur says, "He is the richest man in this city. Why would he care about us?" Then his mother replies, "I worked for that family for many years, and if he finds out we are in such a bad condition, he will definitely help us." Actually, Arthur and his mother were very impoverished and in a bad state there. Now, it is seen that Murray Franklin's comedy show is playing on TV, which was Arthur's favorite. He used to watch the show every night, and while watching it, he sometimes imagined himself in the show. Actually, Arthur loved Murray very much and considered him his ideal, and inspired by him, Arthur wanted to become a comedian. Since Arthur didn't have a father, in a way, he saw Murray as his father figure. Now, the next day in the morning, when Arthur goes to his office, a colleague of his named Randall says to him, "I found out that those kids beat you up badly the other day, right?" And then he gives Arthur a gun and says, "Keep this with you for your protection." Arthur didn't want to keep it at all, but Randall says, "You keep it with you and if possible, pay for it slowly later." Now, after a while, Arthur's boss calls him over, and after hearing the whole incident of the previous day from him, he says, "You will not be paid any money for that work until you return that signboard to me." Arthur says, "But that signboard is broken. How will I return it?" But his boss wasn't ready to listen to anything he said. And now, at this moment, he isn't even given the money he earned for his work. Arthur wanted to say many things to his boss at that moment, but in the end, he couldn't say anything. He just quietly listened to everything and then went outside the office and tried to release the anger building up inside him. Now, while returning home from the office that day, Arthur meets a girl named Sophie in the elevator. Sophie was Arthur's neighbor and lived in the flat next to his. And Arthur liked Sophie very much in his heart but could never tell her. Now, a few days later, it is seen that Arthur is dressed as a clown, performing in front of some kids in a hospital, and while dancing around there, the gun given by Randall falls out of his pocket, which surprises all the kids and even the doctors there. The whole incident is immediately reported to his boss, which is why he is fired from his job right then. Over the phone, Arthur tried very hard to explain to his boss that this gun was a part of his act, but his boss says, "Randall has told me everything. You bought this gun from him last week." And after knowing this, he becomes very surprised and starts feeling very bad. He feels that Randall has betrayed him because Arthur never wanted to buy this gun. Randall had forced it on him. And now Randall told a lie about it to Arthur's boss, which is why Arthur lost his job completely. Now, after spending another bad day and losing his job, when he was returning home on the train, he noticed that after the train became somewhat empty, 3 boys started harassing a girl in the train. And after seeing this, Arthur's condition starts again, and he starts laughing loudly on the train. He tried very hard to stop himself but couldn't stop laughing no matter what. And after seeing this, the 3 of them leave the girl and start moving towards Arthur. Seeing him laugh in such a strange way for no reason, the 3 boys get very angry with him and soon reach Arthur and start beating him, telling him to stop laughing like that. And after being beaten like that for quite some time, Arthur takes the gun out of his bag and shoots and kills all 3 of them right there. And then Arthur runs away from there and comes straight home. And now, after so many killings, he doesn't feel bad at all. Until now, whenever any injustice or abuse was done to him, he would endure it silently. But after protesting for the first time today, he feels very good. Now, it is seen that after returning home from there, a strange courage has come over him. He had liked Sophie in his heart for so long but could never say anything. But after returning home today, he goes to Sophie and starts kissing her. Now, the next day, Arthur notices that the news of the 3 killings on the train was being shown on the news. The news was saying that a person wearing a Joker mask had killed 3 people, but the real identity of that killer was not known at all. And after seeing this on the news, Arthur feels no remorse. He seemed quite happy about the work he had done. Now, after a while, it is seen that Arthur is getting treatment for his illness from that psychiatrist, but that doctor informs him, from today onwards, the treatment here will be completely stopped because this was a social welfare work where everyone was treated for free with government expenses, but now the government has stopped giving money for this work, and that is why this treatment system will also be stopped. And Arthur's financial condition was not good enough that he could spend money to get his treatment done. Now, it is seen that after losing his job, Arthur is trying to do stand-up comedy at a place to fulfill his dream, but before saying anything on stage, that laugh of his starts again, which is why he starts laughing loudly on stage for no reason. But it is seen that after a while, he manages to control himself and is making everyone laugh very well. And at the same time, his relationship with Sophie becomes very good. The 2 of them now spend time together very well. Occasionally. Now, one day after returning home, Arthur's mother gives him a letter and says, "Send this to Thomas Wayne quickly." But Arthur opens and starts reading it there and finds out that Thomas Wayne is his father, which is why his mother kept writing letters to him asking for help. Now Arthur wants to know the whole story from his mother. If Thomas Wayne, who is the richest man in the city, is Arthur's father, then why are these 2 in such an impoverished and bad condition? His mother reveals, "When I worked at their house, Thomas Wayne and I loved each other very much, and you were born at that time, but we weren't married then, and that's why Thomas Wayne told me and you to stay away from him because that would be better for everyone. And before leaving from there, I signed many papers, which is why I cannot tell anyone about these events even if I want to, because they are very powerful people and I cannot fight them." Now, after knowing this, Arthur goes to Thomas Wayne's house the next morning, and after going there, he sees Thomas Wayne's son, Bruce Wayne. Now, when Arthur tries to talk to Bruce there, a security guard from that house comes. Arthur tells him, "I want to meet Thomas Wayne. My mother's name is Penny Fleck. I know everything about her and Thomas Wayne." Then that security guard says, "There is nothing to know here. Your mother was a sick and crazy woman, and nothing ever happened between her and Thomas Wayne." But Arthur was not ready to believe this, which is why he hits that security guard and runs away from there. But after returning home from there, he sees that his mother has become very ill and is now being taken to the hospital. So Arthur also reaches that hospital with his mother. And after going there, 2 policemen come to talk to him. They were talking to Arthur about those 3 killings that happened on the train a few days ago, but he somehow manages to leave from there using the excuse of his mother's illness. Now, while sitting by his mother's side in the hospital, he notices that Murray Franklin's comedy show was on TV there. And there, it was seen that a few days ago, when Arthur went to do stand-up comedy and got on stage and started laughing loudly, Murray played that video of Arthur on his show and made fun of him in front of everyone. And after seeing this, Arthur feels very hurt inside, and this incident feels very bad to him. For so long, he had considered Murray his ideal, but after today's incident, it felt like that place was destroyed. Now, a few days later, it is seen that most of the people in the city are protesting against Thomas Wayne dressed as jokers because Thomas was going to become the mayor of the city in a few days. Yet the condition of the general and poor people of the city had become very bad. But Thomas didn't care about these people. He only wanted to become mayor for his own benefit. He even insulted all the people of the city by calling them clowns on a TV channel once. And since the Joker who killed 3 people on the train a few days ago, most people in the city seem to have chosen him as their ideal. And since Arthur was the one who committed those 3 killings, after seeing his popularity among the people, he becomes very happy inside. Now, one day, after much effort, he meets Thomas face to face. And after hearing the whole story from him, Thomas tells Arthur, "I am not your father. When your mother worked at our place, she adopted you from Arkham Hospital." But after hearing this, Arthur did not want to believe it at all. He says, "Why are you lying to me? I didn't want your house, car, money, or anything from you. I just want you to love me a little as a father. Say a few kind words to me, hug me with love." And while talking, Arthur starts laughing loudly again, which makes Thomas angry, and he punches Arthur in the face and leaves from there. Now, it is seen that Arthur has returned home feeling sad, but there was no one by his side to listen to his sad stories. Even his mother was now admitted to the hospital, which is why he had to suppress his pain and live alone. Now, it is seen that he is sitting in the room laughing alone and trying to remember some old memories. And from those memories, it is revealed that the relationship that was shown between him and Sophie for so long was actually all imaginary. In the real world, there was no relationship between the two of them. Actually, Arthur was suffering from such a severe illness that he couldn't differentiate between the imaginary and the real world. And there are many such scenes in this story that were not real. Everything was Arthur's imagination. Now, that night, Arthur gets a call from Murray Franklin's TV channel. After playing that video of Arthur's laugh on Murray's show a few days ago, the popularity of their show increased a lot, which is why Murray wanted Arthur to participate in his show once. And after hearing this, Arthur agrees to go on the show. Now, the next morning, Arthur goes to Arkham Hospital and tries to find out if Thomas Wayne is his real father or if he was indeed adopted. And after gathering all the papers in his mother's name from that hospital, he finds out that he was indeed adopted and that his mother was a mentally unstable patient. She used to abuse Arthur physically a lot since childhood, and from there, Arthur got a severe head injury, which is why Arthur is now suffering from that laughing disease. And Arthur realizes there that the relationship his mother had been talking about with Thomas Wayne for so long was not true. It was all just his mother's imagination, but his mother believed it to be true, just like Arthur believed his relationship with Sophie to be real. And after knowing all this, he breaks down completely mentally and gets very angry with his mother for the abuse done to him in childhood, because today, because of his mother, he has to suffer from this disease, for which he always has to be humiliated in front of people. Now, after sitting sadly in the room all night, Arthur goes to the hospital to see his mother, and after going there, he kills his mother by smothering her with a pillow. Actually, Arthur's mental state had become very bad now. He felt very good taking revenge on people for the abuse done to him. Now, after returning home from there, he was preparing to go to Murray Franklin's show, and at that time, two of his former colleagues from the office, Randall and Gary, come to see him. Randall says to Arthur, "The police are interrogating me about the 3 killings on the train. Just tell me what you told those policemen. Then I will also tell them the same thing so that they easily believe it." But while talking to Randall, Arthur suddenly stabs a knife into his throat and slowly kills Randall right there in the room. Because a few days ago, because of Randall's lies, Arthur had to lose his job. And after seeing this, Gary, their other colleague, becomes very scared. Then Arthur says to him, "You have always treated me very well, so I won't harm you. You leave from here." And then Arthur, dressed as the Joker, starts going to Murray Franklin's TV show. But those 2 policemen from the previous day start calling out to Arthur from the street to question him. But Arthur escapes from them and gets on a train, and the 2 of them follow Arthur onto that train. But after getting on the train, it is seen that all the people are dressed as Jokers, protesting against the mayor of that city, and because of that, it became very difficult for them to find Arthur among so many Jokers. And they mistakenly shoot another person wearing a Joker costume, which makes all the other people there very angry with the 2 policemen and beat them to death on the train. Now, Arthur reaches Murray Franklin's TV show from there. Arthur had dreamed of going on this show since childhood, and today his dream was about to come true. Now, after talking with Murray on the show for quite some time, he announces in front of the camera, "I myself had killed those 3 boys on the train the other day." After hearing this, Murray says to him, "Do you think what you did is funny?" Arthur says, "Yes, that's what I think. Whether someone likes something or dislikes something is completely their personal matter. But you, meaning the rich people of society, always decide what is right and what is wrong, what is laughable and what is not. You played my video and mocked me, made fun of me. You thought it was very funny, but it was not funny at all to me. Nowadays, everyone has become violent. No one tries to know how the person in front of them is doing, what their mental condition is like." And while saying these things, Arthur takes out the gun from his pocket and shoots and kills Murray right in the middle of the live TV show. Then, it is seen that Arthur is arrested and being taken away in a car, and while being taken in the car, he notices that in a moment, a riot has broken out all over the city. Most of the people in the city have started considering Arthur their ideal or hero, and after going some distance in the car, an ambulance hits their car, causing the 2 policemen inside the car to die there. And all the other people there run and pull Arthur out of the car. Even though Arthur is a criminal, all these people are now starting to support him. And it is seen that amidst all this, Thomas Wayne was passing through the city street with his son and wife when a person wearing a Joker mask from the street shoots Thomas and his wife, killing them right there. And on the other hand, it is seen that after a while, Arthur regains consciousness, and after getting up, he notices that many people were waiting for him there. And seeing all of them, he draws a smiley face on his cheek with his own blood. And after seeing Arthur, the people there become extremely happy. Then, it is seen that Arthur is in jail, and a psychiatrist is treating him there. And sitting in front of her, Arthur starts laughing to himself. Then that doctor says, "Why are you laughing? Tell me, I want to hear." Then Arthur says, "You will never understand the reason for my laughter." Then, it is seen that Arthur walks out of the room laughing, and there is blood on the soles of his feet, which indicates that he has now killed his psychiatrist and is escaping from that jail. And here, the story of this movie ends. If you liked the video, you can subscribe to the channel.